What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Best Bet show. It is Monday, a beautiful day. We have two football games again. The football gods keep gifting us these two-game slates on Monday. I'm enjoying it. I'm excited to get my lick back from Sunday. Without further ado, let me swap you guys for a second. You guys didn't realize.
Too bad.
Austin's props is here. Alex Caruso. Austin, how you doing, brother?
I'm excited, man. We got what you asked for. We got two Monday night football games once again. I wish they split up the times a little bit better. I don't really love the overlap, but I understand why they have it. But other than that, man, I'm excited. Two games, better than one, I guess. Locked in. AC, how you doing, brother?
Yeah, man, come on, man. It's Monday. We get two games. There's only two times left this NFL season that we get two Monday games in the same day. So enjoy them while they're here. The next one will be in week 15. So, 10 weeks without two games, I'm going to enjoy the heck. Even if it's Dolphins and the Titans, it's going to be a blast.
Absolutely. I think both games are going to be interesting. Obviously, we wish Tua was playing in this Titans-Dolphins game, but let's dive into that first. We have the Titans versus the Dolphins, and most people are probably Huntley haters, I would probably say. But the Titans only plus 125. The odds went from obviously minus 6.5 from the Dolphins when it opened weeks ago because they have those lines out. It's now 2.5, and the over-unders at 37.5. Going to be an interesting game to watch. Austin, we'll start with you. Where do you see this game going? Who do you think wins? Over-under? What do you like here?
I think for the over-under, Vegas has it priced right where I would put it, 37.5, I think, or 37 for the total. I really like that line. I think I don't really have an over-under for this but I do think it's going to be right around 35 to 40 range. I think it's going to be a slower pace, a lot of running game. Obviously, Tyler Huntley has a 165 pass yard line, so pretty low line. But I think people are obviously just looking at what he did last year and assuming he's going to be worse than Skylar Thompson. I personally think he's going to be a little bit better passing the ball wise. And I think they've had another week to try to figure out how they're going to get Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, their best two players, the ball. And I think we see those guys involved. So I lean the Dolphins here, but I don't have a for say, I guess. How about you?
Yeah, I also think it's going to be under for sure. I think this is going to be a field goal fest. The Titans have yet to score 17 points. Even when they scored 17 by the end of the second quarter in the first game, they didn't score after that. They've been an atrocious offense. The Dolphins have been also not looking very good with Skylar Thompson last week. Obviously, Huntley changes things, but it's been 13 days since he's been on the team. I do think he's an upgrade, but I don't think that they're going to be able to push this over that line. I took an all under 39.0 today. I just don't think there's going to be many touchdowns in this game.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is just a game you don't want to take on any side. I feel like there's no angle because it's really unknowns. We don't know how Huntley's going to do. I think that they can get creative with him, Hill, Waddle, and A-Chain and just run a lot of short game stuff and kind of keep the defense honest, make things interesting. But the Titans have a great red zone defense. I assume there's going to be some chemistry issues off the bat with Huntley there. So I'm probably playing a Dolphins kicker prop later today. Just a little FYI, as the Titans red zone defense is just unbelievable. And that system is still basically in play. So there are some props that you can bet. I did get Huntley over rushing yards at 24.5 earlier this week. It's like 30, 32.5 now range. So I wouldn't take that now. I think it's where it should be. A lot of people on the Tony Pollard love. I want to get into that yards or something in that regard. Austin, I know you're on a Pollard prop today. What's your favorite spot in this Titans-Dolphins game?
Yeah, I played his rush attempts 12.5. I think it kind of fits with what AC said. It's going to be a field goal fest. The ball is going to be a lot of dink and dunk, a lot of run plays I'm expecting here. I don't think either team is good enough where we see them really pull away. So not probably going to be too worried about a negative game script here. And we saw them in weeks 1 and 2. They lost by 7. They were down in both those games, 16 and 17 carries. I know Tyjae Spears is a good player and they want him involved, but we saw last week he had 1 carry, So Pollard had 6 carries last week in the worst game script possible. I think this is a better one, and I think Will Levis has shown that he's just struggled Callahan's going to look to run the ball here. Pollard, they paid for a reason. I know he's not the greatest running back, 14 touches, but the control time and possession seems like a must here for me.
I agree. Alex, is that you with the sirens in the backyard? And the
That is me. It's O Block, baby. O Block Boston. So
he makes me feel like Boston's just a bad area every time.
no, I just I live right near the police station. So anytime that there's anything happening, which is all the time in Boston, I constantly hear police cars. But again, my favorite play in this Dolphins game has got to be Tyler Huntley. Under 11.5 longest rush. He has had 53 straight rush attempts under this line. This is a 2-year streak now, over 8 games he's played in, and he just refuses to have a rush longer than 11 yards. So I'm going to take him under today, just at that spot. I mean, 53, and if he's gone under in 53 straight, if he goes over today, I'll tip my cap. But I don't think he's as fast as people think he is.
I agree. He's definitely older. I think he scrambles and does some design runs here. It should be interesting. I think if they're losing, that play is you're feeling a little worried at the end, just in case. But if they're winning, and I do think they win, I think you're fine. I also think people are disrespecting his arm a little bit. I think he's
100%.
definitely an upgrade at the quarterback position. I'm just going to say that flat out. He could do a lot of interesting things, and he has a decent arm. He's not going to throw 60-yard touchdown bombs, but I think he's going to keep the defense honest and, move the ball downfield. You have 2 insane weapons, a great receiving back. So if you can kind of take those chip shots, dink and dunk your way through, I think he can move the ball and not really have to go crazy. So we'll see what happens. Again, this is my least favorite game. So I'm just going to stop talking about it, because I think the game that everyone wants to bet on and everyone wants to watch is going to be the Seahawks versus the Lions. And I think, honestly, the Lions are 2-1. I think they should be 3-0. That loss to the Cardinals, I believe it was kind of fluky. Just did not score in the red zone. They dominated everything in the game, just could not get it done. And the Seahawks are sitting atop the NFC West at 3-0 and on the road here, but it is in a dome. Their passing game has been very good. They did win games without Kenneth Walker as well and got backup running back looks there. So they've shown that they can compete. The Lions stuff the run, so they're going to have to throw. This should be a fun game to watch. I am on DK Metcalf's longest reception. I got it at 23.5 and it dropped to 22.5, which I really don't understand. I actually may bet this again. I think with those longest reception props, I don't really see the variance moving in certain ways, especially down for a DK Metcalf. They run a high percentage of man coverage. It's in a dome. They could be losing. I don't really see in a way where he doesn't get a 25-yard catch here. He's over in 15 of the last 20 games dating back to last year. And I just think it's just one catch here. He could get one catch for 25 yards, 30 yards. We see him for 50 and 70 already this year. I absolutely love this play. I think you can target any wide receiver and have an argument, but that's my favorite prop. Austin and Alex, I know you're both on DK Metcalf in similar capacities as well.
Yeah, go ahead, AP.
Yeah, I am. I think the hardest thing for me was targeting which receiver I wanted to play. Obviously, you have Lockett, you have JSN. For me, DK Metcalf is the most consistent out of the 3, where you tend to see the targets are there. The receiving yards, 70 or 63.5 right now, climbing to 66.5 on most books. I love that prop. I know AC, I'll let him go in on that because I have half a unit on this and the longest reception. I think the reception for me, like you said, it's one play. He could cover the receiving yards off a 60-yard bomb, and you cover the longest reception off that play. So there's a lot of upside in that. The hit rate, obviously, there. And like we said, it's kind of safer where if he gets 3 catches for 62 yards and misses his receiving yard line, you probably have a 25 to 30-yard catch in there. So I like that. I think it's a safe option to pair with your receiving yards just because it gives you that extra upside.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I love the 63.5. The Lions run a top 5 rate of man and single high coverage, and DK Metcalf has the highest target rate, and he sees 50% of the team's air yards against those coverages. That's obviously great for longest reception. But again, the target rate and the fact that the Lions have let every wide receiver want to play them so far to go over this line. DK Metcalf, 100 yards back-to-back games. I think he does it again. But, Chucks, I have to give my play of the day. Kenneth Walker, under 55.5 rushing yards. Just 4 of the last 20 running back ones have beaten this line against the Lions. The coach came out and said that he's splitting work with Zach Charbonnet today. It wouldn't surprise me if he ends up with 5 carries. But again, the Lions, 4 guys over the last 2 seasons. Nobody hit 70 yards. I the under on Kenneth Walker.
I agree. I actually was talking with Austin a couple hours earlier, and I was going to play that or his longest rush under 14.5. I just feel like if he's going to get there, it may have to be an explosive carry. I think both kind of go under here, in my opinion. He averaged, I think, 2.5 yards per carry last year versus the Lions, and I can kind of see the same thing happening this year. But with that being said, we got our plays out for that game. Let's get what everyone came here for. That is the first touchdown after we all fumbled the Cowboys-Giants game on Thursday night. We got the Cowboys scoring first, but obviously it was Rico Dowdle on a dump off, or it might have been a screen. I forget what exactly what it was. But either way, we're here now. Austin, you get to go first again. You could pick either game. The floor is yours, my friend.
Yeah, I'm targeting that Titans-Dolphins game, and I'm going to go Tyreek Hill plus 850 to score first. I think it's one of those lines where you'll normally never see this available. Obviously, the quarterback play is why it is. I feel like Tyreek Hill, man, they're undervaluing his yards after catch. Yet last week, there were 0 big plays this Dolphins team had. Nobody had yak for Skylar Thompson, which obviously didn't work out. But I don't see another game where they don't scheme anything up and Tyreek Hill isn't involved. I think one big play, a 60-yard touchdown, we've seen time and time and time again where it's like, oh, first drive of the game, 72-yard Tyreek Hill touchdown. I think I could literally see that today, so I'm trusting it.
I hate it. I don't love it because it's Austin picking. I'm going to fade you every single time. As part of the show, we're not touching that game. There may not be a touchdown scored in that game, right?
That's why I had to play it. Someone scored, man. Someone scoring.
I agree. I'm taking my talents to Detroit, and we're going David Montgomery at 5-1. Don't overthink it. I already saw the prophecy. The primetime prophecy video is coming out later as well, and that may just be the answer for my guys in here. I mean, if we're being honest, I don't see a way that doesn't happen. I mean, he's just an absolute monster. We're going to see the Lions move the ball all the way down the field and then just run it up the gut. Hopefully Gibbs doesn't steal it, but Monty's been an absolute unit at the goal line. And that's it. There's no one else scoring first. And if you think the Seahawks are going to score first, you're just out of your mind. With that being said, Alex, who do you like?
Well, you're wrong. I mean, book it with Trent. Just put all his rent money on the Lions. So that means Seahawks are scoring first. It's going to be DK Metcalf. Like I said, 50% of the air yards. He's plus 1,400, which is just insane odds. Lions only allowed 9 rushing touchdowns last season. That's 1 every 2 games. It's not going to be through the air. It is going to be it's not going to be on the ground. It's going to be through the air to DK Metcalf. I mean, I think it's easy money in the bank. Put $1,000. It's probably going to hit.
This guy's out of his mind. He came to play today. He came to play. There you have it. It is a beautiful show, beautiful Monday night for games, and there's day game baseball for the best team in the world, the New York Mets, in about 5 minutes. So we're going to go catch that. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. And as always, thank you to our sponsors, Draftkings. Bet $5, get $50 in pick 6 credits and a month of NFL premium on them. Use the codes in the description below. Have yourselves a day, and let's cash and make some money. Peace.